There's another new Easter egg reward in Battlefield 2042, and that's the exclusive player tag, Your Excellency, specifically for people who love Easter eggs in games, and I imagine that's a lot of you watching this video. To get this, you're going to have to complete 4 separate Easter eggs, and they range in difficulty from something that can be done in 5 minutes to a multi-part difficult one that hopefully a lot of you have already done. In this video, I'll walk you through how to complete every single one, and it is important to note you will need a friend for some of the steps. A lot of these can be done solo, but a couple of them you will need 2 people to complete. To make this easier for you, I've made a single ported experience that has all of the maps you need with the right settings. The code for this is AB6NS1. I'll also include that in the description down below. As a warning, right now Portal is really struggling with all of the AFK XP servers and all of the people doing Easter eggs on Portal servers, so it can be difficult to try and start up a lobby. Just try at off-peak times if you possibly can, and if it says no server found or no server available, just keep on pressing host server over and over again, just keep spamming it, and eventually you'll get one started. Thankfully, if you use this portal code, it will take you through all of the maps in the right order, so you should just be able to stay in this one and you won't have to spool up any others. So the first Easter egg we're going to complete on our quest is the plushie search on Redacted. Basically, across Redacted there are 4 plushies hidden and you need to pick up 1 of each of the 4. The real catch is that each plushie has 10 possible spawns, and only 1 plushie spawns per game. So that means in theory, each game you have 40 possible spawns to check, and it will only be in one of them, and there'll only be 1 out of the 4 plushies that you need. So what you have to do to complete this is find your first plushie, and you'll probably have to check all 40 spawns for that. And once you find one, you just interact with it. Some of them are a little bit difficult to interact with. You might need to like move around or step away from them a little bit to get it. But you do need to interact with them. Even if they're like up in the roof, you have to kind of grapple up there as McCade to be able to interact with it while you're falling. It's a little bit tricky. But once you interact with it, it'll be obvious when it's worked because it'll play a little animation and you'll unlock a charm. And then you need to go into the admin menu in the game and then click on Restart Map, because you want to reload that same map in order to be looking for the next one. Now the good news is, once you've found one, next time you only need to search 30 possible locations because you don't need the one that could be in the other 10. The bad news is that you can get repeats. So it just seems to be random which one out of the 40 spawns it will be each time. So there's a 1 in 4 chance after you've got the first one that it will be one that you've already got. If after you search through the 30 other locations, then you still can't find it, you just need to go back into the admin menu and restart the map. Once you've found 2, then you only need to search 20 locations for the future ones. Like if you find crab and dinosaur, then you just need to search for penguin and shark for the next ones. But again, there will be repeats, so sometimes you won't find any. And then eventually, once you've got 3 of them, you only have to search 10 locations per try, which means you can do it quite quickly because 10 locations you can pretty much just memorize. But 3/4 of the time, they will be repeats. Now, I got pretty lucky. I managed to do this in an hour. I've heard of some people taking a little bit less time to do it, and some people get unlucky and it takes a lot more time. I have heard some people suggest that if you're doing it completely solo on a server, maybe it won't offer up repeats for you. And I don't think I saw many repeats. I grabbed them all pretty much one after the other, which was pretty great. So anyway, this map that I'm showing you here, I found it on Reddit, but it looks like it's from the Battlefield 2043 Discord server. It's been super useful. I'll put a link in the description below to where I found it. It shows you what you have to do. There's a tutorial on there, and there's the locations of every single plush, as well as a photograph of the locations. They do have 1 possible location missing for the dinosaur, but by some good fortune, it was the one that I had, and somebody in my chat, Mustard, actually told me about it as I was right there and discovered it, which was great. So that one is between B and C. If you just look up in the roof panels, you can see the dinosaur up there. So yeah, I wish I could give you more help with this, but you really do just kind of need to check all of the different locations, and in each game, hopefully you'll be able to find one. I've heard some people say they prefer to just think, okay, I'm going to focus on a dinosaur and check all 10 dinosaur locations, and if it didn't spawn, they reset the server and then have another go at it, because then you can check all of those locations super quickly and you can kind of memorize them because you've only got 10 to do instead of trying to do all 40 in one go. That is probably more efficient, but bear in mind, each run there's only a 1 in 4 chance that you will get the right plushie spawning. On the portal code that I gave you at the beginning of the video, I have increased movement speed a little bit, so that seems to make it a bit easier, and I would strongly suggest being McKay so you can grapple up to get some of the ones that are a little bit trickier. But good luck! In order to get that Excellency tag, you do need to get all 4 plushes. When you get each one, you'll unlock a charm, and then once you get the final one, you'll unlock this special player card background, and that's when you know you're done with the plushies, and you can go into the admin menu and click Next Map. Now, thankfully, the second Easter egg you need to complete is super easy, and this won't take you long at all, but you do need a friend to join you. So this one's on the 9th version of the Battle of the Bulge map. It's called Sacrifice, and all you need to do on it is get 3 takedowns within one of the burning circles on the map. You can use any of the burning circles. I did all of them on the D objective because we're going to do something else on the D objective in a second. But the easiest way we found to do this was to let the person who's going to get executed over and over again capture the D objective. The other person just stands off to the side, and then that first person can keep on spawning, and you just run up, do the takedown on them, then leave the objective again. Get your 3 takedowns within that circle, and you will get the Sacrifice player card. Now, while you're here on this map, you can also get the keycard, which you need to get the prototype later, if you haven't already done that Easter egg. So you can do this super fast. If you're on the D objective, make sure that you are an engineer class, and then just go look at these 2 angel statues in front of the church, shoot the tips of the wings off the right hand statue, then shoot the head off the left hand statue, and it will take a few shots. You have to make sure the head is fully destroyed. Then you can use dynamite to throw at the right hand statue and completely blow it up. Then if you go and head on over towards E1, you'll come across this graveyard with 1 more statue in the middle. Just go up to that and then look up and destroy the head on this statue. Once you've destroyed the head, you'll hear a noise and the keycard will appear at the base of the statue. Just go up and interact to grab that. You're going to need that later when we go to Iwo Jima. But now we're going to head on to what is probably the most fun Easter egg out of all of these, Sharknado. And again, you need 2 people for this one. It's on Orbital, which is the next map on the server, so if you were just in Battle of the Bulge, if you go to the admin menu, then press Next Map, it should just take you to Orbital. And now to do this Easter egg, you need the stormy version of the map. Frustratingly, there's only something like a 20% chance of getting the stormy version. Thankfully, you can tell from the map, so when it's sunny, it'll look like this, and then when it's stormy, it'll look a bit more sort of washed out and grey like this. If you get that version of the map, good, you can go ahead and do the Easter egg. If you get the sunny version of the map, you need to go into the admin menu and press Restart Match. Once you manage to get the stormy version of the map, if you head down to the beach, you'll see that there's this sign saying no swimming in another language. That confirms to you that it is the stormy version of the map and you will be able to do the Easter egg. If that sign is not there on the beach, then it's the sunny version of the map and you have to reload the map again. The first step of this Easter egg is to go over to B1, and in the big warehouse that's got a rocket part in it, if you go in the main entrance at the front of the rocket and then look onto your left, there should be like a red tool cabinet. Just on the floor next to that, you should be able to see a small walkie-talkie. Interact with that, and now you need to go all the way over to the beach and back to that no swimming sign, and just to the left of the sign on the floor, you should see a prompt to put the walkie-talkie down. Do that, then interact with it and it will start playing some Morse code. Now the next step is to go and interact with 4 laptops that are hidden around the map. Thankfully, unlike the plushies, these are always in the same locations. So the first one is on the launch platform. If you go up all of the stairs around the sort of back bit of the rocket, Once you get to the first floor that has a ladder hanging down on it, just under the stairs there, you should be able to see the first laptop. If you just interact with it, it will disappear and it will sort of magically teleport itself to over the sign at the beach. Then if you stand in front of the rocket, so you've got your kind of back to the rocket and you're facing the vehicle assembly building, on the left, just in front of the launch pad, you should see one of these small like container offices. If you go in there, you should be able to see a laptop on the floor in there. Then for laptop number 3, you need to go to the B2 flag, and if you go into the K3 building here, you should be able to see another one of those red toolboxes and the laptop is just there. And then the final one is in the big vehicle assembly building. If you head up there, you'll see the floors on the right have like different numbers like R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. You need to head up to R1. So you can kind of fly into R2 or you can take the zip up to R5 and drop your way down. But you have to get to R1, which is a bit darker than the other floors, and you should be able to see the laptop hidden in the corner here. Once you've interacted with all 4 laptops, then you can go back to that sign at the beach and you'll see all 4 laptops in a row. Now, you can interact with these laptops to spell out a code. So from the left, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the code that you need to enter is 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3. If you entered that correctly, there should be some Morse code playing, and you should be able to see a sort of buoy out to sea that will have a light shining on top of it. I'm sure Americans say that word differently, and they're going to tell me off for saying buoy the wrong way. Did they say like buoy or something like that? Anyway, you know what I mean. It'll have a light shining on top of it. Now, the next bit is a little bit weird. One player is going to have to do takedowns on another player in the water. The person who is doing the takedowns needs to make sure they've got the Frankie the Shark weapon charm on their gun. This is the one that you got from that plushie step at the beginning of the video. Frustratingly, that player will not complete this Easter egg. Only the person who is getting killed will get the completion for the Easter egg and will get the reward. So one person needs to do 3 takedowns in the water while they have the Frankie the Shark weapon charm equipped, and then that will trigger the lightning. You'll see it happen really quickly, and then after the person who just died respawns, a few seconds after that, they should get the reward completion. They'll get a badge called Shark Bait. That's the thing you need for the Excellency Player Tag. And then you also get the reward of seeing a Sharknado. A massive tornado will form with sharks flying around it. That's pretty cool. But yeah, if you're doing this in a pair, you're going to have to do this twice, which is more annoying than it sounds because you have to try and get another version of the map with storms on it again, which took us a surprisingly long time to get, and then basically do the entire Easter egg again, but this time swap around who's the one who gets the takedowns and who's the one who gets fed to the shark, basically. The person who dies, they are the person who will get the Shark Bait badge. Because you need to get 3 takedowns, obviously one person can respawn 3 times, or if you've got multiple people trying to do this at once, if each person just gets fed to the shark once, they will all get the Shark Bait badge. But once you've got that Shark Bait badge unlocked, you are done, and now we can move on to the last Easter egg to get the Excellency Player Tag. Now, this last step is getting the prototype. If you've followed my previous video guides and you've already got the prototype, you will have just unlocked the Excellency Player Tag already. So if you've already got prototype, don't worry about all the rest of this stuff. But if you haven't got it, I'll give you a quick version of the guides right now. If you want to see the full versions, check out the other videos on my channel. So the first part of this you have to do is to get one of the Phantom Program skins for either Assault or Support. You can get them for Recon or Engineer, but we don't know how to do that just yet. So we'll go with Support because that's the easiest one to do solo. On the Portal Experience code I gave you, after Orbital, the next map will be Exposure, which is where you need to be to get the Support one. To get the support skin, all you need to do on Exposure is make sure you're playing as Falk. So that is the support healer who can fire the little Surrect gun to heal yourself. And make sure you've got an ammo box on you and then some sort of explosive. Mini grenades works really well. The crossbow, if you've got explosive bolts unlocked, works really well. You can do it with frag grenades, but it's a little bit more dangerous and it'll maybe take a little bit longer. So what you need to do is go to the A1 objective And then on that objective, you need to damage yourself. Make sure you don't accidentally down yourself, but just damage yourself and then heal yourself by firing the Surette pistol at the floor. You can't hold the button to do a self-heal. That won't work. You need to fire the Surette pistol at the floor. The syringe will kind of stick in the floor, and when you're damaged and you walk over it, it will heal you. You won't get any sort of notification that you've done a squad heal or anything like that, but it will count. So you need to count to 10 doing that on the A1 objective. To play it a little bit safe, I'd probably do 12 or 13. So just damage yourself, then fire the Surette pistol, wait until you've healed back up to full health, and then do that 10 times. Once you've done that 10 times on the A1 objective, then you can go down to B1 and do exactly the same thing, just standing near the B1 flag, that's in the tunnel. Then you want to go to B2, do the same thing in the kind of command center. Then you're going to head on down to D, so it goes A, B1, B2, and then D. So head on down to D and do the exact same thing. And then finally you want to go over to the C objective and then do the same thing, another 10 heals. Once you've completed your 10th heal on C, then cool down a vehicle. We've used the Ponthawk, the little flying drone thing that you can sit on. It does work with other vehicles like the recon truck, so it shouldn't matter which one you cool down, but make sure you cool down the vehicle on C and then get into it. Pretty much straight away as soon as you get in, it should unlock all of the different skins for the support class, so each support specialist gets one of these skins. There's been some disagreement about whether you can die at any point while you're doing that. I don't really know for sure. I would try not to die when you do all of that. And if it doesn't work at some point, just do the whole thing again and make sure you do at least 10 heals on each point. And make sure you go in order: A1, B1, B2, D1, and then C1 to finish it off. And then call in that vehicle and get on it. Once you've completed that and you've unlocked all of the support skins, make sure you put one of those support skins on, and now you're going to load up the next map on the Portal playlist, which is Iwo Jima. So head on into Iwo Jima and make sure that you are wearing one of those support skins that you just unlocked. Now on Iwo Jima, you're going to go to the C1 objective, and just below a little cliff on the edge of the C1 objective, you'll see there's this sort of walkway and a big mining machine, and just to the left of the mining machine there's a little keypad. This keypad is super annoying. It takes a very long time to enter the code, but basically you have to enter a code by using the up and down arrows to select a number, and then every time it's on the correct number that you want, you have to press the bottom right button, which is submit. Be a little bit careful with this because the interact prompts do like to move around. But the first code you have to enter is 250146, and once you finish typing that code in, so you put in the 2 on the screen and then press submit, put in the 5, press submit, and so on. So you do the whole code 250146. If you've done it correctly, then the first of the lights above the keypad will go green. Then you can put in the next code 613251, then the next light should go green. Then you put in 515176, so then the third light should go green, and then finally 441806, and then the fourth light should go green. Once you've got all 4 lights green, you've entered the entire code. Now you need to head on up to A1, which is inside a cave. And as you go into A1, if you stick to the right hand side, you should be able to see this corridor that goes to an elevator shaft. Go up the elevator rope, and then at the end of this next corridor, you'll see a fire exit. That's the fire exit that you just unlocked by doing the code into the keypad. Open that up, and there's an elevator at the end of the corridor. Now, it's worth saying here, the correct way to go down the elevator is to have 4 people who have all completed the Phantom Program Easter egg steps, which I haven't done a guide on yet, but if enough people ask me in the comments, say that they want a Phantom guide, I will do one. It will take like 4.5–5 hours. It's going to be a pretty huge video. It takes a long time to do that Easter egg. But anyway, the correct way to get down this elevator is to have 4 people who have all done that Easter egg, the Phantom Program Easter egg, and each have one of the different Phantom tags on. Then you can go down the elevator safely. If you haven't done the Phantom Program Easter egg, or you don't have 4 people with you, then you can get down another way just by going prone. Basically, you go in the elevator, hit the button to go down, and just go prone immediately until the elevator stops. that will make you survive, otherwise you get killed on the way down. It's up to you how you feel about that. It's probably not the intended way to get down here, but it is the only way you can get down here if you do it by yourself or in a pair, and you will still get the same reward. So once you get down to the bottom of the elevator, then you should be able to interact with the keycard reader on the left because you picked up that keycard back in Battle of the Bulge in that step. Go back and do the keycard step if you haven't done that yet. And then you should be able to go into a corridor with loads of lasers. If you're wearing the right skin from the support Easter egg that we just did on exposure, you'll be fine here. If you've got the wrong skin on, it will kill you immediately. Interact with the button at the end of the corridor and it will open up the far wall, and that will take you into the secret room where you should be able to find the prototype weapon in a glass case. Just smash one of the walls of it by shooting it, pick up the prototype, and that is the last Easter egg. And if this is the first time you've done that, you should unlock the Excellency Player Tag. Also, don't forget in here, if you go a bit further into the room, up on some shelves, there is a skin for the prototype weapon as well. You can just interact with this prompt that's really high up to get that. But that is the Excellency Player Tag, and you can put that on if you want to show that you enjoy doing the Easter eggs in Battlefield. Now, of course, it's a bit of a shame that it doesn't seem like any of this is going to cross on over to Battlefield 6. It would be cool if we could keep this player tag for Battlefield 6 just to show, hey, we're Easter egg hunters, like we like doing this kind of thing. That would be awesome, but I don't think it's going to work like that. Instead, you'll just have to subscribe, turn your notifications on, and as soon as the Easter eggs start happening in Battlefield 6, I'll of course be finding out what you have to do on streams and then making guides for you right here on the YouTube channel. So turn your notifications on. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if it helped you. Let me know in the comments if you did manage to get that Excellency tag. I think it'll be a pretty rare one. I don't think many people will go through all of these steps to get it. So you'll be part of an elite few. Let us know in the comments if you've done it. Of course, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.